Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT This Morning.
A crash injuring 2 people in Winchester overnight leads to a bizarre arrest.
Lexington police found a man tied up in his home after a violent home invasion.
And a pregnant woman is rescued from a late-night fire in Nicholasville that destroyed a historic home. Well, of those stories and more, and breaking news as it happens, it's coming up on WKYT This Morning. Good morning to you. It's your Friday, and we're delighted you're with us as we head for the weekend. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith.
Cold rain out there, continuing, making its way, sort of spreading across the Bluegrass State.
Yes, very slowly it feels like.
Yeah.
We're tracking heavy rain and thunder that will move in this weekend. For the latest track on the weather, let's turn to meteorologist Micah Harris.
Yeah, if there's one thing you can pull that's pretty good out of this, is it's really going to usher in some milder temperatures today. So the cold rain starts this morning, and then it just becomes just rain toward the afternoon, because we'll be in the 50s. So there's a look across the area. It's very scattered, very widespread, but it's not a lot as of right now. That will change as we work our way off into the afternoon and into the evening hours, where we're looking at 1 to possibly 3 inches of rain throughout a period of 48 hours. So here comes the good rain, and it looks Friday and Saturday being your best shot. There are temperatures in the 40s. Like I said, that mild air is creeping on in. There we are, 57 toward the afternoon. A soggy one in store. We'll go over the latest forecast coming to you in just a few minutes.
Okay, see you in just a bit. We thank you. Let's get to the news.
We're tracking a crash in Winchester this morning that injured 2 people and led to a bizarre arrest.
Right, it happened around 12:30 this morning on the bypass near Lexington Avenue in Clark County. Due to slick road conditions, a driver lost control and hit the median and crossed into southbound lanes, hitting an oncoming car. 2 people were taken to an area hospital with non-life-threatening injuries from that. But police officers were put in danger as they tried to clean up the wreck. Our WKYT crews were on scene as a semi-truck driver tried to drive through the closed bypass. 37-year-old Quincy Collier was arrested and is charged with reckless driving and wanton endangerment.
New this morning, we're tracking an armed robbery that happened in Lexington. It happened at 9:45 last night at the Southern Rays Tanning Salon on Richmond Road. Police say a man went into the store, told employees had a weapon, and ran out of the store towards South Locust Hill Drive. No one was injured. The suspect, described about 5 foot tall, 9 inches, or 5'9", last seen wearing a black hoodie and a black and white flannel shirt.
New this morning, a man has been arrested for a robbery that happened 3 years ago. 22-year-old Joshua Boyd was arrested in connection with a gas station robbery from back in 2011. Police say he robbed the Speedway on Richmond Road at gunpoint along with another suspect. Both were wearing masks and hooded sweatshirts at the time. Police say Boyd got away with money and beer.
We're tracking a crash out of Laurel County this morning that sent 6 people to the hospital. Happened about 10 o'clock last night on Interstate 75. A pickup truck driver lost control on the slick roads, hit a service truck that was parked on the shoulder. 5 people in the pickup and the mechanic near the service truck all taken to an area hospital.
This morning, police are still searching for answers after a violent home invasion. It happened a little after 9 o'clock at a home on Squireswood Way. Police say the victim was tied up but somehow managed to call for help. He was not injured. They say the man told them that he came home and someone inside grabbed him and tied him up.
It is troubling because it's not the norm for anything in Lexington, so we take it very seriously, and that's why we're taking our time and doing a very thorough investigation, and certainly trying to give him time to regain his composure and work through it with us.
Police tell WKYT News that they do not have any sort of suspect description yet, but they do say that they are looking for possibly 2 people.
A Nicholasville woman was rescued in an apartment fire last night. It broke out near the intersection of 1st and Walnut Streets. Firefighters had trouble putting out the flames because part of the apartment building was more than 200 years old. A pregnant woman was rescued from the 1st floor of the building and taken to the hospital. She was conscious on her way there. Officials say the fire could be suspicious.
We have a station that's probably about a minute and a half down the road from this building, and your typical fire is not going to be in that kind of shape.
Firefighters plan to return to the scene today and try and figure out exactly what caused this fire.
Lexington firefighters are still trying to figure out what caused a house fire that injured 3 firefighters. The fire started around 1:30 on Thursday afternoon on Delmont Drive near Versailles Road. At one point, firefighters dealt with a flashover, which caused the home to be engulfed in flames. Investigators say 3 firefighters suffered first-degree burns in the flashover. We understand those injuries were only minor. The homeowner says the house is a total loss.
it's crazy because, you know, you always hear about it, but until it happens, like, you know, everything in there is lost. Like, you know, between the smoke and the water, there's not anything left.
None of the people who lived in the home were injured.
We're continuing to track the case of a woman now in prison for stealing her late father's benefits. Police in Texas say a body found under the floorboards of Judith Broughton's home was her mother, Mary. Investigators say they do not suspect foul play in the death. Mary Broughton was reported missing months ago. Police say Judith Broughton's father died in 1990, but his remains were found in a Lexington storage unit last January. They say Broughton leased that unit. She later pleaded guilty to stealing her father's Social Security benefits. A judge sentenced her to 10 years in prison. Police also say Broughton shared an account with her mother.
Our time is 4:36 now on WKYT, and a former UK football walk-on has been charged in connection to a string of robberies in Florida, and police say he could face similar charges here in Kentucky. Police in the Tampa area say 22-year-old Chad Merida robbed a bank and several stores, and police say he could also be behind robberies at a GameStop and a Dollar General store in Laurel County here in the Commonwealth. Those robberies happened months ago. In high school, Merida was considered one of the top running backs at Knox Central. He's now in a Hillsborough County, Florida jail.
The Fayette County Board of Education has named an acting superintendent for Fayette County Public Schools, and it will be the second time she's had the job. The board unanimously chose Dr. Marlene Helm as acting superintendent. She'll be taking over for Dr. Tom Shelton when he steps down at the end of the month. Dr. Helm was acting superintendent for 3 months in 2004 before Stu Silberman was hired. She says she knows the job will be tough with the school district dealing with that state audit, redistricting, and a school board that's been divided at times.
We have to work together as a team. We can't pull apart because the ultimate goal is doing what's in the best interest of students. And I have their commitment that they're going to work with me, and they certainly have my commitment that I'm going to do everything in my power to work as a team member with them.
Helm's contract allows her to work up to 12 days this month in order to overlap with Shelton. Her contract extends through June 30th since the school board hopes to have a permanent superintendent in place by July 1st. Helm will earn around $1,000 a day, slightly less than Shelton's rate.
This morning, a Letcher County family is needing some help in bringing a missing child home. Lily Mae Adams says her 8-year-old grandson Nicholas is with his father, Floyd Sexton Jr., but a judge awarded her custody of the boy this week. Police say they are concerned about the boy's safety because Sexton is wanted for the murder of a Floyd County man. Adams says her entire family is worried about Nicholas.
It feels like death or something because we've been trying to find my grandson for a long time, and we've not been able to find him.
Adams says that she is also worried that what she doesn't know about the condition that her grandson is in. Police have not said if they have any leads as to his whereabouts.
A former UK football player talks to WKYT for the first time since being injured in a fall at Commonwealth Stadium. Brad Durham fell 35 feet from the stadium's upper deck during the South Carolina game in October. Durham says he doesn't remember much about the fall itself. It knocked him out. He says he was in a coma for nearly 2 weeks. Durham says he's come a long way in his recovery and says the fall has changed his life.
I was basically on my deathbed, yes, and that's something I'm never going to forget.
Well, Durham says he still goes to hand and physical therapy 3 times each week, but he's back to working full-time in Lexington. He also says the support of the Big Blue Nation has helped him over the last few months.
Wish him continued recovery there. Well, the Urban County Council gave its approval to promoting Lexington Police Chief Ronnie Baston. The council unanimously confirmed him as the city's next commissioner of public safety. Mayor Jim Gray announced the promotion on Tuesday, and during last night's meeting, Baston said the city already has a grant to buy some police body cameras, and the police are starting the process of buying those.
Big issue that we'll have to discuss later is the storage of the video that's taken, the security of that, and what you do with it. It's going to be significantly more expensive than the purchase of the cameras, and it's going to be a recurring cost.
Baston is taking over for Clay Mason, who is leaving for a job with a private consulting company. The city has formed a search committee to find a new police chief.
Well, a new Kroger store will open in Lexington soon, and it's creating dozens of jobs along with it. Kroger plans to hire about 100 people for new part-time jobs at the Euclid Avenue store, scheduled to open in about a month. Kroger leaders say the store will have some unique features, including rooftop parking.
It's a very unique store, different than anything we have in the company out there.
If you're interested in one of the new part-time jobs, Kroger will have a job fair this Saturday from 11 until 4 at the Beaumont Kroger Marketplace. We have information on our website, WKYT.com.